Hey everybody, this is Paul. What I'm going to show you now is I'm going to show you how I use our pacing guide. Okay, this is relatively simple. I know when me and our first year with Epic, we put together a pretty extensive pacing guide. What we found out was that about a month in, only maybe 2 kids had even really utilized it or looked at it. I made up this one off of it's a Google Sheets program that I kind of made up, and it's relatively simple. What you have here is we have Donald Trump as being the example. He's in the 12th grade. This is the date that we start on, and we can change that if we need to. Okay, and it's already kind of in there. You can start it whenever you want to. That's on the 12th. Let's say I want to start on the 17th. Okay, I can change that there. What I've done is I've put in some information here for my students. I put in the Play-Doh. And you see I've already got a link to it, so all I have to do is click there. I've also got Study Island. I've got their logins, and they just have to copy and paste those. I'll put my contact information. This is kind of where I go to, my working sheet for all my students. What I kind of like about it is you can add and you can subtract. Like throughout the year, I might add a Study Island column over here, and you can even paste that out. And later on, I might show you how to kind of make that change. Now I just got kind of a simple forward one that it goes. This is the current pace. Like I said, you can do this any time in the year, and you can kind of change it. I use it with my trouble students. When they become truant on the plan of improvement, we come back and we work this, and I'll work it with all my students throughout the year, but we can change it. The way I set it up is I set it up so that when you change these numbers, it actually changes inside of the sheet document itself. So if I change science for Donald, it's going to change to 67. Now what I've done over here, this is the pace that they have to sustain to finish in the number of weeks I've set. I can also change the number of weeks. Okay, we can change it to 18. That's where we're at. And if you notice that these numbers over here change alongside of that. Okay, if I go back and I change these to where we're starting off at 0, okay, and you start seeing those numbers start changing, this is going to be more accurately where we're at. And you can see them change down here in this area. Okay, to make the new ones, and I've set up ones here for different students. I got Bugs Bunny. Let's see, I think he's in Play-Doh, okay, alongside Mr. Trump. And I got the courses. When you set up the courses, and I change the courses, okay, I've got it set up so when I change one, and I even put that in font, everything changes. Okay, so it should be pretty simple. Sometimes there are little quirks inside of there. You just might have to work with it a little bit. If things get erased, sometimes it changes throughout the whole sheet. On my 4th graders, what I've done here is you kind of notice that there's some blanks down here. That's because they don't have as many slots in their grade book. Okay, so they only have 4. You can add things. If you delete these things, they'll also delete down here in the cell sheet, or you might see some little number bars. Okay, it just kind of depends. Anytime you want to make an adjustment on a Mac, it's Z and Z, and that'll change it back to where you're at. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. Like I said, you can change the weeks, and it should give you an idea of how to do it. Now, all I have to do to kind of even this out is I'm just going to come and copy that, and I do that. You can also take them out. Okay, it's not a perfect deal. I'm trying to give you it a good price free, so you can grab all you want. I'm just joking. But all I have to do is come up and edit, and I can delete those rows. If you want to make it kind of be pretty. And I did that to all of them. Unfortunately, you got to do all of those. See how I kind of messed up the references down here? It's because those cells that are attached to have been deleted. Okay. And once again, if I want to change those back, all I got to do is Command Z, and then just set it up, and then change it to it. Okay. Now down here, what we have is we have the starting date. This should be the Monday date, I believe. Okay. Now, starting date. This is where at current pace, that's what they're going to start out on Monday, 11%. This is where they need to be on Friday. When I take grades, this is the pace they need to work out throughout the week. Okay, as we go back up, and I do that again, so we can change that. I'm going to change that to 18 weeks. There, I've changed it, and it changes to 6%. That's about where we're at now. Okay, I can also change the starting dates and everything else. So this is where you change things, and it should change things throughout the whole sheet. Here I got the Hulkster. He's one of my favorites. Looks like he's in the same grades. He's in the 4th grade too. Like I said, all I need to do is I've already made those changes on him, and I just have to go in and delete it, or go in and push edit, If I highlight those cells, I can go push edit, and I can delete the rows, 25 through 26, okay? And then to clear it up. Now, what I do, okay, and let me just kind of show you how to set up a new one. Let's say sheet 2. Here's a brand new one. I got a, how to put this? Say I got an 11th grader coming in, okay? Donald, he's a 12th grader. He's going to have the same number of classes. And I'll just highlight all these. And I got the semester ending down here. I just pasted out to October. I might even show you how to add and change those. I'm going to go over to my new cell right over here. Click in the upper left, and I'm going to put Control V, and that's going to paste everything in there. That's how you set up a new student, okay? And then you just start making your changes inside of here. I'm going to put 11th grade. Great. Okay, and I'm going to change it to Ivanica. I must be thinking about our president. You can change it to whatever you want to change it to, whatever the name of your student is. Down here, if you click this little arrow button, okay, you can rename it. And I always try to put the last name. Okay, because sometimes I love my families, and then once you come out of it, it's highlighted. You can also, if you want to get, and I've done this before in past years, I can change the color. And if I want to change the color of that, I can change it so it's red, so all my seniors might be red or green. My juniors might be one other color, and vice versa. It just kind of helps, might help you a little bit. Then I'll go and I'll start just changing classes. So let's say Algebra 2. And it should change it, like I said, throughout the whole sheet. I try to make this as simple as possible. There are some little flaws in there. If it is, what I might have to do, like I got to change this one. Okay, so all I'm going to do is this one's going to equal. I'm going to click that cell, and that should change it. If possible, you might have to do it for all of them. It's not a perfect system. Like I said, sometimes you'll make. Sometimes you'll make. You might delete something that'll mess up the cell. If you do, it's no big deal. Just remember that you highlight the cell and you go up and copy the cell that you want to change it to, and it will. Okay. It should even work with these formulas. If you want to keep one of these cells kind of pure, you can do that, and then you always copy paste and start over if you mess up too bad. If you mess up too bad, just delete it and copy and paste a new cell. If I want to add some weeks, I can do that too. Now to do that, I'm going to go and take this, my semester ends, and I'm going to move it over here. Okay, that's just because I'm going to copy paste. I'm going to highlight the number of cells you want to highlight. Command C, and it tells you to copy, or Control C if you're on a PC. Control V, and notice it even picks up the dates. Okay, and you can paste that all the way out all the way. My wife has one, and she has both of our semesters on there for her. Okay, and if I want to change over here, I want to change that color again. Once again, I come over here, I can change the color, and I'll make them that color. Okay, and just one of those things is a little easier to see. If I'm looking to pick a specific student, I come over here and I click on this button, and it's going to take you to all your different students, and that's where you're going to find your name. Add a sheet, you just click right there. Okay? And you can always drag them over if you want to. You can, well, said that. There you go. You can always drag them over and organize them if you want to do that by grade. Okay? I have one sheet that has all my students on there. Now, if I'm wanting to make something I hand out, I'm going to come over and open up a new Google document. And I've opened up the new Google document, and I click on New. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back, and let's say I want to make one for Bugs here, and I want to give this to him at our meeting. Okay. I just copy all that. I can go back and control that. If I wanted to, I can go back and copy or move that around so it should work. I have my Control V, and it's pasted in there. Voila. Okay. It should be a matching document, meaning if I make one change, I may change in another one. Let me see if that will happen. Let's see, Bugs moves from Toontown, and he moves to, scroll up, he moves to Holbert. I might not have a link. Let me see if I do. Sometimes it will link it. It's not going to do it. Sorry, it's not linked. A lot of times it'll ask if you want to link it to the document. Always click yes. Okay. You can make changes on here, but the changes in here will not affect the sheet. It should change in the sheet. I have to find out why it did Hopefully this will make it a little bit simpler for you. Because pacing guides are not, I don't know, there's been a lot of talk about them. Really kind of the first year I've heard a lot of talk about pacing guides. I think they might have come up on Facebook and everyone thought they had to have one. Like I said, most of the curriculars are going to have a good pacing guide in them anyway. And so it's really not that much to worry about. I use this as a tool to kind of give the students a plan to, if they fall behind, to catch back up and tell them where they're at. Like I said, I always tell them that this is where you're going to start at. This is Monday. This is Friday. This is what you got to do. When you meet 6% in your curricula, you know you're done for the week and you can go on to the next subject. Okay. I've even had students that work ahead. And with those students, I can make them out new pacing guides. I can send them in the mail. I might work on showing you how to link Google Docs. It's a pretty cool feature. Okay. We'll do this some other time. Imagine you guys got enough on your plate now. There, just highlighted it. Guys, have fun with it. If you have any questions, please ask. Epic, it's not like we're just next door to each other, but we do have email, and we have everything else, and we have GroupMe's, which is awesome. We got something awesome going on with Miss Harlan. It's awesome. Now over here, how to name the document, you just got to click on the name. Okay, you can highlight it. It should. It's going to pose difficult. There we go. I just highlighted and changed it over here. It's going to save it to your drive. Okay, if you want to, you can change that. You can put it wherever you want to change that. You see my grades and some other things I got there. Those are folders inside my drives. I hope that works out. Okay, I'm not sure how the screencasting works. We will find out. Might not even recorded it, but I'm going to pause it. Hey, you guys have a good night. Hopefully this goes well. If it does, I'll definitely do it again and show you some of the other things that we use. Epic is you can work as hard as you want to, or you can try to make things easy. I'm a kind of easy guy. Peace out, everybody.